Also happening today, the mother of a Virginia first grader who shot and injured his teacher is set to be sentenced for felony child neglect. You'll remember last January, or this January, I should say, almost a year ago, Deja Taylor's son shot his teacher, Abigail Zwerner, while Zwerner was reading to her first grade class. Court documents reveal the boy said, quote, "I got my mom's gun last night after he shot her." Taylor's sentencing now raising questions surrounding legal proceedings about charging parents. Prosecutors say they expect Taylor will spend an additional 6 months behind bars. Taylor has already started serving her 21-month sentence on 2 other federal charges last month. Let's bring in trial attorney and legal analyst Mercedes Colwin for more. Mercedes, it's always good to have you. I wanted to start with this. You know, in past interviews, Taylor has admitted and taken responsibility for her son's actions. She was also convicted of using marijuana while owning said firearm. Will this role, this admittal, if you will, play any role in how the judge sentences her later today?
Great question, Markie. Always wonderful to be on with you. It really will be the mitigating factors that the attorneys have already flagged for the judge. Apparently, Ms. Taylor suffered from some postpartum depression, some schizophrenic behaviors, and that type of mental health issues will certainly be a mitigating factor for the judge to consider. And also the fact that she has been very compliant during this process. She says, "I'm taking responsibility for my child's actions because my child at such a tender age can't be actually accountable for his own actions." So that type of compliant behavior will certainly move the judge to have some leniency towards her.
Yeah, we know she's now behind bars. The last update I heard about the child, he's now 7, living with his grandfather. Apparently, he got Star Student of the Week last week in school. So his mother is living a very different fate right now. Let's talk about gun safety here. Prosecutors claim ATF agents never found a lockbox, never found a trigger lock or a key for that gun. What kind of precedent does this case set when it comes to holding parents responsible? And what's the message all parents should take away from this case?
Excellent question, Markie, because one of the things that Ms. Taylor did initially, she said that there's actually the gun was safe because there was this trigger lock and it was found not to be true. So for those individuals who own guns, obviously gun safety is absolutely critical. They may be safe with their firearms, but if it's not done in a way to remain that all the other inhabitants of the home and others that have access of the gun can actually take it and commit a crime, it could be that they may be charged because it's in furtherance of a crime. And I'm going to step back for a moment. When these types of cases, when you're talking about whether the parent will actually be liable, really the judges, prosecutors look to see if they somehow had a role in the furtherance of the crime. Looking at the Kremleys, who right now are facing involuntary manslaughter charges for the actions of their 15-year-old who went into their school and killed 4 students and harmed many others. In that case, the student actually exhibited mental health defects, yet the parents, the Kremleys, purchased a gun for their 15-year-old, and that was the gun that he used to kill those students in his high school. So that's very different. Obviously, the prosecutors are very aggressive with the Kremleys because they looked at it very differently than here. This Ms. Taylor, they're talking about neglect. With the Kremleys, we're talking about individuals that really had the foreseeability to know that there was a substantial likelihood that their child that was already exhibiting all these mental health issues, including creating these pictures of a gun and blood. And that's why when the school had called the Kremleys and said, "You need to pick up your child." They didn't. That's the same day that actually he went and killed those students. So very different circumstances. Whenever the parents are in furtherance of a crime, the prosecutors will look to those individuals and hold them accountable.
Well, Mercedes, you answered my last question. I was going to talk about the Kremleys in that case specifically too. We'll leave it there. We'll see what today has in store. And Mercedes Colwin, we'll see you back on the program soon. Have a good weekend.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.